Hey, grace and peace. Welcome back to another video with Rev C. Did you know that 91% of people do not read their Bibles daily? 9% of people are actually reading their Bibles daily. And so for this video, I want to give you some tools and some quick tips on how to read the Bible. And these are not magical formulas. uh, by any means. It's simply putting to words what should be practiced in normal reading of the scripture. Tip number one, identify the genre. When you are about to read the Bible, even for the first time, identify the genre. Is it fiction? Is it nonfiction? Is it prophecy? Is it a parable? Identifying the genre. We do this with any other literature that we're reading. When we're reading a love letter, we automatically know we're not reading a newspaper and we're not reading a comic book. So why don't we do that with the scriptures? Identify the genre. Tip number two, do proper exegesis. Exegesis simply means to pull out the meaning of the text. It simply means let the text speak for itself. You don't put into what you think the writer means. The two most dangerous words when studying and preaching and teaching the Bible is I think. Proper exegesis helps eliminate the I thinking. You want to pull out the meaning that the author wrote. What was his original intent, his original meaning. And so the plain meaning of scripture is this intended meaning. And so the plain meaning is to be the intended meaning unless the context demands something different. Adding more sense to the plain sense of scripture will leave you with nonsense. It will leave you with nonsense. Stay within the four corners of the document. What do you mean, Rev C? In other words, get as much out of the document, the book that you're in, from within that document itself. Scripture interprets scripture. Follow this, and confusions are going to clear up. So don't go outside of the Bible getting other sources when you stay within the corners of the book. Now, you use other sources, you limit your use of other sources and only use to help clarify what the document is saying, never for interpreting what the document is saying. And it's something and making it say something it did not. And so these outside sources are only to be used after all other internal sources have pretty well been exhausted. Your commentaries should be your final check. Final check. Keep it simple. Don't try to overthink it. Don't try to overthink it. The Bible is simplistic. I always like to say, take the cookies and put them on the bottom shelf. Make it simple enough so that a child can understand it. And then we have three last steps. And we'll dig deeper into these. Observation. What does the text say? This is when you play the role of a detective. You are investigating the text. You're getting all the data that you can out of the text before you put the facts together. Keep a verse in its context. Then you have interpretation. You only put together your interpretation when you have all the facts from the observation stage. And then lastly is application. application. The Bible has one interpretation, but many applications. And so the purpose of the Bible is first to be believed and then obeyed. It's not meant to be academically scrutinized and all of this. You cannot obey the truth of the Bible if you do not know the truth of the Bible. So the last step is application, but that comes only after you've put all the facts together. You've done the work, you've done the exegesis. And in the next videos, we are going to dig into each of these stages to pull out the truths of Scripture. God bless you. See you on the next video.